Okay. So today we're going to be talking about piñatas, and I'd like to start off with something of a corny joke, but let's hit this lesson with a stick and watch the knowledge fall out.
Yeah. It's not as tasty as candy, though.
Not quite. So I'm going to start off showing this short GIF. So as you can see in that, children are delighted to rush forward and get the candy after it's broken.
Yes.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about what piñatas are, touching on the history of piñatas, and then going into detail about how to build and break open a piñata.
Wonderful.
All right, so what is a piñata? You got a little taste from the video clip, and you probably have some awareness already, but it's an object or container, usually made from paper mache or some kind of cloth or cardboard. Historically speaking, and probably less so now, from pottery, and covered. It's usually very brightly colored, tissue paper, and then filled with candy and small toys, other treats. And one thing to note, these are not just for children, they're also for adults. I mean, oftentimes you find them at birthday celebrations. So yeah, mostly birthday parties, but in Mexican culture, also find them very popular around Christmas time.
Oh.
So when we think of piñatas, generally we think Mexican culture. The origin of the piñata is actually a little more. It's now thought to originally have started in Chinese culture from many centuries ago. As a part of a New Year celebration, generally the piñatas were in the shape of a cow or an ox and filled with 5 different kinds of seeds. Yeah, so once you broke open the piñata, people would go after these seeds, and then they were buried, and that helps. It's thought to help the group throughout the year. And so then in the 13th century, Venetian explorer Marco Polo brought them to Europe. So in Italian, piñata, and it means clay cooking pot, thought to be rooted in the Latin pinea, or pine cone, because they were kind of shaped like a pine cone during that period. And then Spain adopted them not too long afterwards, as generally in a religious ceremony. First Sunday of Lent, they would be broken open.
Wow, I did not know that.
Well, that's great. And so then we have to talk about the piñata, where that comes from, the Spanish verb apiñar, to pack or to cram, which really just gets you started on that, breaking it open and getting all the goodies inside. It really captures the feeling.
Oh, yeah.
And so then we get to what we usually think of when we think of piñatas, Mexico. It arrived in the Americas in the 16th century, but there were already other similar traditions in the Aztec and Mayan cultures. And so that's where you get into where did it originate. It gets a little complicated. But traditionally, the Mexican piñatas are 7 points, and that's rooted in Mexican Catholicism. The 7 deadly sins were represented by the points, and the blindfolded person represented the face. And as they destroyed the evil spirit, the good came out of it.
Oh.
And nowadays, there's hardly any religious significance put on them. I mean, they're revered still, but in a fun, celebratory sort of way. Yeah, so I'd like to hear about your own piñata stories, if you have any. Have you learned about them before? Have you been to a party with one? What sticks out about those experiences?
All of the above. My very first ever introduction to piñatas was in the first grade.
Mm.
And I'll always remember piñatas because it was in our classroom, and we took a broomstick, and a parent was there, and they had the piñata in the center of the room, and they had this little boy named Tyler, and they had another little girl who was swinging the piñata broomstick, and somebody moved the piñata, and poor Tyler got whacked in the eye.
Oh, that's a great
Unfortunately,
example.
right in front of everyone, he poor child, he cried, but of course,
Oh.
getting his eye hit. But that was my first piñata experience. And
Well, that
then,
one will definitely stick with you.
yes, and then a good piñata experience was when I was 21, my 21st birthday, or maybe my 20th birthday actually. I went to Honduras, and I got to help in a village called Villa Soleada, and it was Students Helping Honduras was the organization, and we got to build schools, and we taught, and I also got a chance to taught in the bilingual school, and I happened to have a birthday buddy whose name was Abel, and we had a piñata for our joint birthday party. So we
Great.
broke open a piñata, and we had our faces smashed into cake. So it was a great
So
experience.
you got all the experiences in one.
Yeah.
Well, as we move forward through this process, let's keep both of those experiences in mind. Kind of the successful one and the less successful one.
Definitely.
All right, great. Okay, so how to build and break a piñata. First of all, you have to choose your design. Like, as I mentioned from the history standpoint, we've got a lot of characters. Pretty much anything you can think of, you can pick out. There are a lot of different designs available in stores as well. And then next, you're going to need to fill your piñata with whatever you choose to put in there. Usually hard candies, little prize toys. If you're going for the more adult crowd, maybe personalized bottle openers or something like that. A lot of piñatas come with how-to instructions. So there's a sticker. Here's where you put the prizes in, and then you'll need to take a sturdy piece of rope or washing line and place it through the loop at the top of the piñata. You want to double knot it, make sure that the rope is going to hold all the candy. Depending on the size of your piñata, you can hold up to 5 pounds of candy. So it's really got to be able to hold some weight. Yeah. Again, once you have that sturdy rope or line, you also want to have a good location to hang the piñata. That can be tree branches, basketball hoops, patio beams, etc. You're going to also need a combination of sturdy structure and then also space, ample space. So, let's talk about your previous experience. Maybe part of the reason was there wasn't enough space in the classroom, right? So, it's really easy to get hit if you're crammed into a space.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you're place that rope around whichever structure you select, and then bring it up or down in height depending on what age group you're going for, most likely. Okay, and then here we go. So there's another example of the piñata showing you how to put the candy in, and then also the piñata hung from a tree. And you'll see they have a carabiner, so this piñata is not messing around.
Right.
Then also, whether or not you're at a child's party, a Christmas celebration, or more adult party, you'll need to have a responsible, that's the key word there, adult to hold the end of the rope when it's time to begin the play. Mm-hmm. Then as people go to hit the piñata, you'll want to blindfold them, and this is optional, but you may spin the hitter to confuse them, but make sure they have plenty of room. Mm-hmm. Another point is to make sure that you're guiding them with your voices. That's part of the fun, right, to helping people out, because they can't see the piñata. So
Mm-hmm.
if you guide them with your voices, it helps a lot. And another optional piece of this, the rope holder should keep the rope steady, so there's not a whole lot of swinging back and forth. After the piñata is hit each time, but you can also move the piñata in a controlled manner up and down to have more of a moving target. Depends on your probably age group and expertise level. All right, some tips and tricks of the piñata trade. Often you're not going to want to fill the piñata with chocolate. I mean, we've been saying candy, and technically chocolate is a candy, but why might that be? What do you think is wrong with having chocolate?
See, I'd be the person to put the chocolate in the piñata. But the most logical reason is because it would melt.
Exactly. Right in one. Yeah, I know. I want the chocolate in there too. I would hit it faster. But
Yeah.
you're talking about having the preparation time and everything. It gets a little bit more complicated.
That's true.
And then don't hang from ceiling fixtures. And why might that be?
Ooh, definitely don't put it on a ceiling fan, or it will get tangled, or it could drop on you maybe, like the whole fixture.
And then also, yeah, ceiling fixtures aren't usually as secure or strong.
That's true.
And so you want something to make sure you're not hurting anybody. And that ties into the next one. Be safe. That's why it's so important to have the responsible adult. And then also, once the piñata is broken open, make sure that you're alerting the blindfolded hitter who breaks it open that that's happening, so that the blindfold can be removed and they can see, and so they're not hitting anybody.
Exactly.
Like your poor friend. And then just of course, you're always going to have more candy. If you find out, hey, more people showed up to the parties than we expected, 5 pounds of candy just isn't going to do it. As the piñata is broken open, you can throw some extra candy in and just make it smooth.
That's a good idea.
Okay. All right. So in this original design, I'm going to have y'all broken up into groups. However, given our small size, we have more of a reflection and then discussion one-on-one. Okay. So I'd like you to build your own design. What's your piñata going to look like? In what context are you going to have it? Is this, we've talked about your past experiences. Would you want to build on those? Where would you hang it, and what would you want in there? And I know, Femi, you would like to have chocolate, but let's stay away from that.
I think it would be cool to have a piñata that was actually in the shape of a disco ball, like with actual glitter on the outside and stuff, like paper, but with sparkly paper. Almost like, have you seen those boas that are metallic?
Yes, or like a Mylar balloon, but the inside of a Mylar balloon.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I want. And I guess it would probably. Do you know why we hang them on a tree or just someplace high? I'm wondering.
Yes, so it's mostly for the support, and so you want like it can be a tree branch, but maybe like a patio beam, someplace that has a lot of empty space below it. But is also strong.
Yeah, safe and sturdy. Okay.
Safe and
then
sturdy.
I probably. So yeah, so what it would look like is a glittery disco ball of metallic paper looking, and I would want to hang it on maybe like a front porch beam or something like that. Somewhere, or maybe the backyard tree or something like that, with lots of space.
Maybe
and
also.
I
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My piñata I would sneak some chocolate in there, but the hard chocolate, with actually banana flavored Laffy Taffy. Even though everybody
specificity. Wait, is that a treat for you? Will you be grabbing the banana Laffy Taffy first?
I will definitely be grabbing all of the banana flavored Laffy Taffy.
Great. And then one thing I'd ask you about your design with the disco ball, you want to make sure you do have plenty of light, but with people being, as long as everybody's safe, maybe you could have it inside or have more of a, perhaps there would be enough reflection from the sun on the disco ball to get that shimmery look.
That is true.
But as long as you take the safety precautions, you could potentially have it inside.
Hey, Anna. Hey, Femi. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Hi. Dr. Chow, we did some troubleshooting, and we were not able to successfully figure it out. We've been recording with just audio so far for this presentation. So that's how we're moving forward so far. A little over halfway through the second presentation. Great, thanks. Okay, Femi, let's get back into it.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, so here's some more.
Group 1.
You're all of group 1, but then you're also all of group 2.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'll try to be extra creative.
I do like your disco ball idea, though.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's enter into some review. What safety precautions should you take when assembling your piñata?
When assembling the piñata?
Or displaying it as well.
Okay, so you gotta make sure you have a good, sturdy location. Like, make sure that it's open space. You want to make sure that your piñata is made out of the right material. So you don't want to put anything sharp on it. You want to use the paper that you're supposed to. You got to have a hole in the piñata too, to make sure you can fill it with hard candy.
Great.
And yeah, I think safety.
Next question: should you hang a pinata in?
Initially,
And is that a? Oh, go ahead.
I'll probably never do that because of my first grade experience. You can, it's possible, but you just want to make sure it's actually a safe environment.
Exactly. Great. And then next question: where did piñatas originate?
Oh, originally from Chinese culture, but then it has evolved from the people moving or taking it to different areas, like the Venetian, Marco Polo brought it places, and we eventually got to the Mayan and Aztec culture, and then into Mexico, and now it's its own thing.
Great. Okay, so next we're going to take a look at some piñata errors, some don'ts of the trade. It looks like it's not loading on my screen, so have it loaded just in case. Can you see the YouTube video?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. So we're just going to watch this for the first 30 seconds or so of this video.
Wow. Oof, this is taking me back to scary times.
Okay, so did you notice a common theme running through the video?
Yes, people were getting hurt.
Or several themes?
Yes, there were definitely multiple piñatas, but the people were getting hurt because of safety violations.
Absolutely, yes. So did you see some of the downsides of potentially having the piñatas inside?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Even outside had some epic fails.
That's true, and in one of the clips you saw the whole structure fell down, so that limb or beam was not very well troubleshooted.
Yeah, wasn't sturdy at all.
Yeah, not so much. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of room for injury. So making sure you follow the safety precautions is very important. So this is more of a self-reflection question, but what is the most important part of your piñata celebration?
Of the celebration itself?
For you.
Oh, for me. I think bringing people together and enjoying treats.
Great. Perfect. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions or feedback about the presentation, and you'll see this great little piñata anatomy. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any chocolate in there for you, Femi.
Oh, see, that's okay. They'll evolve.
You can be the piñata revolutionary.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool how they made the Twizzlers, and it's a full thing with Starburst and everything. That's
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And you'll probably want to have, this is a great diagram, but you'll probably want to have those candies individually wrapped. Just for hygiene.
Especially if it's hot outside, they're going to stick together.
Absolutely. Same principle as the chocolate. All right, so in our next class, we'll go over how to make your own paper mache piñata from scratch.
Ooh, I've actually done that before.
Oh, nice. We've got an expert in our midst.
Right. I've had some pretty awesome experiences with piñatas, I guess.
Great. So come back next week for that, and maybe Timmy can jump in and help teach with me.
Yay. Awesome. Thank you. That was wonderful.
So let me just stop sharing my desktop. PowerPoint. There we go. All right, so it looks like we're the two presenters for our group in the active session.
Yep. Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and then Femi and Anna will go to the WebEx discussion board to watch Lisa Dean and Jessica Harrison's. And going to hit stop.